This TikTok couple drama is absolutely wild. Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be talking about some drama that has taken over the UK FYP recently. It involves two influencers called Taze and Hev Bolin. If you don't know who these people are, Taze posts content like this.
Anyone but you, anyone but you.
Which I believe is his song. So if you're a fan of that, right, get on the follow button for him. He's also got a YouTube channel where he like collabs with Angry Ginge and H, etc. I don't know if he's been around for a long time. I've recently just kind of seen him blow up. And Hev Bolin, I believe she's kind of like a TikToker. I think she's just like an overall influencer. I think her whole brand is centered around being like a huge feminist for women, which some people have tried to expose, which I'm gonna show you later in this video. Now, I believe these two first met on a show that's called Foot Asylum Locked In, basically like a YouTuber Big Brother, and I think they got quite close on this show, just judging by this edit that Foot Asylum posted.
Never hate you.
There we go, right? Better love story than High School Musical. I swear, like, didn't Danny Aaron's in Tennessee meet on Locked In? Like, that's like where you want to go if you want to find a partner. Stuff Love Island, right? Just get yourself on Foot Asylum, put a Nike Tech on, and then you're going to be like this with a woman. It's all you need, guys. And since coming off Locked In, I believe they're now officially boyfriend and girlfriend, I think. They post, like, loads of content together, and it does really well. Like, clearly, a lot of people like the both of them and like their dynamic. And I like to see this, right? You know, you see couple content, it's like cute, you know, like, you like to see people thriving. However, when people have a very quick rise, there's always something that comes up. It happens 90% of the time. Now, another TikToker called Maisie Kendall posted this TikTok. I know too much about online drama, man. When Mr. Locked In asks you to go to Dubai, multiple exes, and then takes the girl he told you not to worry about.
Because your son is a What? 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 Did you not hear what I said? I said it's because your son's a
No! Shut up! What? Who could this be about? Please say it's not Taze. I don't know if I can cope with this one, guys. I'm not going to sleep for weeks. For weeks, I tell you. I can't do another heartbreak. So this is insinuating that, you know, another influencer has basically kind of led her on and maybe, you know, kind of cheated on her, I guess. Now, I think a lot of drama came after this, as people, like, speculate that it's about Taze and Heather. So then Maisie made a follow-up video.
Before I say anything, can I just remind everyone that I'm also human? I'm also a human being with a heart, with feelings, you know? But in no way was this to do with Heather or their relationship. Like, that's completely separate. This was more to do with me and Taze. And about me being lied to, manipulated, and I feel like I was completely taken advantage of when I was fresh out of a relationship, which he was well aware of.
It's not a great start, is it? I couldn't hope for a worse start, you know, if you're watching this. If you're Taze, you know, for everyone else, it's like, you know, you're kind of like, ooh, what did he do? I'm intrigued. But for Taze, not a great start to your morning.
But like I said, I am a human being, and taking away the fact that you all love Heather and you all love Taze, and especially them together, that's fine, they're fine. I just want people to put themselves in my shoes and understand how I feel right now, because all anyone was seeing was them. And me. I also had to watch him crack on with the girl that he told me that he didn't like.
Oh, wait, what? We're exposing Oh. No! We've just took it up a notch, guys. Private messages have been exposed. Someone ring the bell. It's about to get tasty in here. In the words of Nelly, it's getting hot in here, guys. I've got to play on certain things to get the most out of it, but I'm telling you now, yeah, f this, I'm not watching it, respectfully. I do not fancy Heather Bolin and would not chat to her. Please remember that. And we are good. I don't think that's your call to make. This is so dramatic. Ha ha ha. Is that better? Why do I actually have anxiety? Okay, so basically I imagine that this is Taze, and he's, you know, saying that you don't need to worry about this girl, and then he's ended up with her, so that mustn't be that nice, obviously.
It's not a feeling that I would wish on my worst enemy, to be honest. We was talking for hours on end before Locked In. Managed to get someone to get in contact with me while he was in Locked In, letting me know that he was thinking of me.
I can tell this girl is like, you know, is a professional TikToker, because with TikTok, like, the way your video gets promoted is the longer you spend on the video. So she only puts it up for like a second, so we have to pause. So we're spending like 5 minutes on this one video. Yo, just spoke to Mikey on the phone for a sec. He told me to tell you, he said, hi, you're a gem. Thank you. That's nice, isn't it? He did all of that just to say hi. What a respectful king. Can they use their phones unlocked in? Can they even do that? I'm not too sure. But basically, she's trying to say that they had, you know, somewhat of a strong, whether that wasn't an official relationship, but, you know, a connection and a speaking relationship before he went unlocked in.
Letting me know that he was thinking of me. Messaged me straight after he came out of locked in, apologising for everything that I've seen, etc. Met up with me in London after he was out. And I just feel like people have completely got the wrong end of the stick. Them completely aside, like this was my situation. I wish it was a lie because then I wouldn't have gone through the emotions that I did.
Now, obviously, that wouldn't be a nice thing to experience. Like, obviously, none of us, I imagine, know what that's like to go through where, you know, you're speaking to someone and you feel like, you know, you're on the track to becoming a relationship and then they go on a show and then, from what it seems, I didn't watch Locked In, but it seems like he's got really close with another girl and they've slept in the same bed together. That would be really horrible to watch. And the reason she's probably doing this video is, like, just to kind of, she's probably bottled it up so much and people might have said things that weren't true and she just kind of wants to set the record straight. And also, think about the one gas is nearly a 2-minute TikTok. I think it's got 2 million views. That's a nice little holiday for her. Might not be the reason, but I mean, it's an extra incentive, isn't it?
So leave just a couple of receipts or whatever you want to call them. But I feel like with these situations, it's so frustrating because there's so much that I want to say. There's so much that I know. There's so much that I've seen that I just want to be able to say, but you just simply can't. But I feel like if I could, I promise you, I'd like to think, no, actually I know. I know that the hate would not be being, not like I want it to be directed towards anyone, but I know for a fine fact if everyone knew, everything was just laid out on a plate and everyone knew all the truths, the hate would definitely not be directed towards me.
Spit your truth, love. Tell me. We can handle the truth. I can. They might not be able to, but don't bother out them. I can. Tell me the truth, love. Don't say, oh, well, actually, I have loads of stuff I can't say. Say it. Say it with your chest. We'll back you. Will we? I don't know what it is, to be fair.
It's very frustrating because it is, but that's fine. Well, it's not, but people are going to do that anyway. If you was in my shoes, I'm sure you'd be feeling the exact same way. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here to actually voice my side of the story, seeing as everyone is absolutely coming for me.
Oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about private messages being leaked. Like, from her perspective, she just probably wants to, like, set the record straight. Like, I get that. But for me, like, even when I did a main channel video and Mr. Beast messaged us, I still didn't include that. Like, I have no feel towards Mr. Beast, but I didn't ask his permission. And I know it's weird with permissions and showing private DMs, but you've got to be cold to post private DMs. You not enjoying it? I am. Only for me, though. Put a ring on it. Yes, you do, Dubai. They've not been raised right. We will do a better job. We will. Think I'll be a sick dad, me? I think you would be. I can't wait to be a God, this is intense. What am I reading, man? Can't wait for you to be my baby's mum. Oh, God, right. Well, he's laying it on thick, right? He fancies the pants off her, doesn't he? He's literally saying, have my children. That's very intense. Open book, wow. I'm on ads. And then he's linked a TikTok, which we can't click. I imagine it's about having babies. This is weird. This is very intense. This is definitely not just, unless he's a very intense guy, but this is a little bit more than just kind of speaking terms. And then he's saying you'll have to see something, but you've got to promise to not fall out with me. Nothing bad though. I'll just be taking pretending to be a flirt. Is this him talking about Locked In? What? I don't understand why she's posting these messages. And then he's telling her, you can be my wife and we can live happily ever after. And then he's bought her like a dream catcher, I think. I don't he's just keep calling that, like, basically, he's just keep calling that, like, my future bird. Basically, this man wants to be in a relationship with this woman. It's what these screenshots kind of are trying to prove. Is that why she's posted it? To show that he liked her? And then he's asked her to come to Dubai. Can't believe I've shown you to my I feel like I'm just watching two, like, school kids flirt here. I don't know what am I even doing? I am having an existential crisis reading these text messages. This guy really is intense. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's asking her, like, I think he's asked to marry her like 3 times. And the comments on this are just absolutely wild. Like, there's literally no sympathy at all for, like, how Macy feels in this situation. He upgraded. I can't lie. Thanks, Peter Griffin. Really appreciate that. Wait, I'm confused. Why is this WhatsApp name Mikey? I don't know, love. Maybe it's because that's his name. Maybe's. I don't know. Don't quote us on that one. The only thing I found interesting in those messages is that he said he doesn't fancy his current girlfriend. Like, that wouldn't be nice for her to read. Even if he was just saying it, it's obviously just not, like, if Chloe found out that I'd said, you know, that would be, you know, she wouldn't like that. It'd probably chop me nuts off, right? Not gonna lie. One thing I do find kind of odd is, like, this Taze seemed to be posting about Heather Boland for quite a while. Like, even maybe before he was speaking to Maisie, like, he was posting TikToks like this before Locked In. Like, clearly, you know, he must have fancied her from, you know, quite a long time. Obviously, you know, when you're emotionally involved in a situation like Maisie is, she might not have been able to see things like this because you're thinking more with your heart than you are with your head. Now, Heather Boland, I believe, responded to this, but rather than us show you that first, I'm going to show you Maisie's response, as she includes a response in this. And in this video, Maisie starts it on absolute smoke.
Heather Boland is not a girl's girl. I'm sorry, but she...
Oh! Damn! What? That's like when Nas released Ether, the diss track on Jay-Z. It starts off with...
Jay-Z, what's up?
This is the 2025 version. Don't have Nas anymore. It's just Maisie. Sorry, I'm joking about this. This is a very real situation.
Heather Boland is not a girl's girl. I'm sorry, but she acts like it, but her whole online presence is a complete facade, and every single one of you supporting her is falling for it. And I know that's...
Oh? Okay. Well... She woke up today and chose violence. Somebody pissed on her cornflakes. Clearly, she's very angry at this point because she's probably posted that first video, and by the comments weren't that nice, so she's probably just went, you know what? This shit's standing on business now. But that is a huge claim to make, because obviously I think that's like that Heather Boland's entire brand is being a girl's girl. Like, I think she, you know, like, a lot of girls are inspired by her. That's a huge claim, guys. Very serious to make.
That sounds harsh, but it's a simple truth. Now, can I just remind everyone that I was never, ever, ever coming for Heather. I simply came out to speak about the situation with me and Taze. And I also do want to remind everyone that I did try to reach out to her before I made that video public, but her settings made me unable to do that. Then she did comment on my TikTok and I said I'm more than happy to message you. And then she reached out to me, but not before I heard all the things that she'd been saying about me.
Oh. Okay, so that gives a little bit more context, because I was originally thinking, why is this being made public? But from what it seems, from what we're getting told here, Maisie, like, tried to solve it in private, but when, you know, apparently this Heather's been talking about her back, she's went, you know, actually, what? You know, actually, I'm gonna take this to the media. I think Hev posted this story like publicly. Hello everyone, there is never any need to compare me and another girl, especially another girl who was before me. The situation has nothing to do with me. I don't know his past. Yes, I felt kind of embarrassed and mocked because now in a relationship with boy and I feel annoyed, which is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm a woman first before girlfriend and it's unnecessary to drag her down. You all know what I preach and I hate the way I've been dragged into this. Bored of drama, just one piece. That's very, very mature. That is a really good response, I'm not gonna lie. How old is this girl? Like, that's a very mature response for a young person. Not trying to tear someone down, being the girl's girl she is, inspiring women. Wow. Unbelievable. So you'd think that she's gonna come out of this situation, you know, really well. However, apparently somebody exposed this private Snapchat story she actually posted on the same day. If any of you ever see me making TikToks boasting about being someone's second option, a relevant side piece, putting myself up against a girl levels above me physically, intellectually, financially, morally, and factually, please. And then does it say like shank me in the head or something? I don't know, for some reason that's blurred out. I love that she said like the most deadliest thing in text, but she's just got a Stanley and went, anyway, still a Stanley girly, silly one, you know. That's kind of brutal. Physically. What does that even mean? You're gonna beat her in a race? That's pretty hot, man. To be fair, that is what I look for, like with a girlfriend. I'm like, would she beat my ex in a race? Otherwise I don't want her, right? Intellectually, I don't know, does she answer more questions on the chase? I have no idea. Financially, that one's pretty self-explanatory, but does that make you better than someone? Morally and factually. What does factually mean? Now this like shocked a lot of her viewers. Like, I've seen so many like videos about this, but one thing I'll say is I didn't actually feel that shocked when I've read this for the first time. I often see like, I'm not gonna obviously name names, but because I'm on quite a few people's close friend stories, you'll see people post something like a product that they're doing as a brand deal, and they're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, and then you'll see on the private story going, that was the worst thing I've ever had to do. Like, I see that all the time, and I always think, well, why did you promote it then? That's just what influencers, you know, some of them are like, unfortunately. They are different people in private. That's not even trying to expose how you want to be like kind of weird. It's actually factually true and morally and physically. And it obviously goes against what she said like publicly. Like, she's saying don't compare me to other people, and then she's literally just like compared herself to this Maisie and said she's better in every way. It's so brutal. Now obviously from Maisie's perspective, if you're going to put yourself in her shoes, if you read this, like if this gets sent to you, you're going to be like, stuff, you're going to be like, you know what, actually, I am going to go public with this. Especially if it's in the heat of the moment, like this is all happening like within hours, days of each other. It's not like they're waiting a week. I imagine if they did wait a week, they'd be like, you know what, it's probably not actually this deep.
Yeah, in private, she posted this about me, coming for every single aspect of my life. I hear a lot about this girl previously to this, that she's not particularly a nice person, but I will never, ever, ever base my thoughts on a person unless it's factual. But unfortunately, she proved everything that everyone said was completely correct. Filming this video is genuinely frustrating me. Literally such a happy, easygoing person, but I'm not going to sit here and allow everybody to completely drag me online when they don't know the truth of the situation. She also states that she doesn't want to get dragged into TikTok drama, yet is so quick to jump on girls' TikToks when they're saying complete vile things about me and she shows them nothing but support. Honestly, that in itself is not very girls' girl. The words she used on this are completely undeniable.
I mean, she kind of has a point. I'm not gonna lie here. There is a slight point. Whether she's a nice person or not, I imagine she is probably a nice person. The thing is, you've got to remember with these people as well. Like, I don't know their ages, but I'm pretty sure they're young. Let me Google their ages. She's 20 years old. Okay? Like, they're not going to have everything figured out. I know that's not an excuse. But I'm just saying, like, no 20-year-old is perfect. But that doesn't mean that it should be exempt from criticism. But, like, if, you know, sometimes viewers can put someone on a pedestal and, like, treat them like they're God's gift. Not all viewers, but, you know, like, you're, like, a really, really, really big fan of someone. Sometimes you think they can do no wrong. Whereas in reality, like, these are really young people. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that they're going to regret in a couple of years. It's just so unfortunate that all of this is happening publicly so that it can't be wiped off the internet.
For her to come online and talk about her situation with her ex. Yet when I come on and talk about my situation with a boy.
Now, we actually covered in a previous video people exposing their ex. And in that video, there's a clip where Heather goes on a podcast and she talks about how her ex, like, kind of mistreated her and I believe cheated on her. Now, Maisie makes the point that, like, what's the difference here? Like, I'm coming forward with my story and I'm getting so much hate for it, but when she does it, she gets loads of love for it. I guess it's not exactly the same scenario because I think them two, like Heather and her ex, were actually in a relationship, whereas, you know, I don't think Taze and Maisie were in a relationship. But still, it's still a fair point because what's actually happening is very similar.
And the thing that frustrates me the most is not even the words that she said about me, it's the fact that a lot of her following is young girls and they're looking up to her. That's just something that does not sit right in my soul, especially because this is only a fraction of the stuff that this girl's done. But that's simply not my story to tell.
Well, you can't, I mean, the one thing, right, is girls, when they're trying to tear each other down, are brutal. They just know how to, like, manipulate things and say, they're so clever with it. Whereas with guys, it's like, should we just have a fight? It's so much worse to be in an argument, I believe, with a girl. Because they can just ruin you mentally. They're just so much smarter. It's the fact she says, like, oh, this is only a fraction of the stuff she's done, but that's not my place to say. It's like, well, you didn't really need to include that if it's not your place to say, but you want us now to speculate about everything else that's just... You know, very smart. The top comment, what does this mean I'm employed? See, this is what I do for you. I'll sum it all up for you, so you don't need to search it yourself. Just come here. Every time you see a little bit of drama, just be like, oh, what's Cam got to say about this? I'm going to go to him. Will this affect Craig's opening time? I can't understand anyone who doesn't agree with you, to be honest. Now, that is one interesting thing, is there's no real, like, favoured agreed person here. Like, loads of people agree with Heather, loads of people agree with Maisie, and I believe that there's points on both sides. Like, I've already explained how I agree with Maisie, but also Heather, like, you're gonna kind of, you know, feel really angry that this has come out as soon as you're in a new relationship. I get why she would post that in the heat of the moment. She thought she was sending it to her friends, I believe, on Close Friends, but unfortunately there's a traitor on her private story, so she's gonna have to do a Colleen Rooney and try and find that fucker. Now, Taze himself has actually responded to all of this going on.
Is there an elephant in the room? That's what someone just said. Is there an elephant in the room? I'll be real, chat. There's proper not an elephant in the room. That's what I'll say. There's proper not an elephant in the room. And I don't even want to give airtime. I'll be completely honest. I don't even want to give airtime. But what I will say, chat, yeah, is I hope for all of yous now, this is all I hope for all yous right now, yeah. When yous fall in love with someone, I hope some past talking stage, yeah, doesn't come on TikTok and try and ruin it all for you. That's what I will say.
Very heartfelt words from Taze there, brought a tear to me eye. Now, from his perspective, I can kind of understand just taking away all the messages that why you would feel this way. Because if you're in a new relationship and someone that you're in a talking stage with comes forward and releases loads of messages, that's not very nice at all. Like, just solely from his perspective. But also, there's a reason why this girl has done this. Like, she believes that she's been led on or, like, f***ed over in a way. In a way, it's because of his actions. and the way that he's kind of treated her. It's all just weird, right? Like, it's all just strange. One thing I will say is that Taze in this situation is kind of coasting at this point of me recording. Like, he doesn't seem to be getting any hate at all. Like, the only two people that are getting hate is this Heather and Maisie. Taze is just like riding in the background, just streaming, just having a great time. Which, as a matter of fact, the only reason that this drama really is happening is because of it's Taze. He's the core of this. And it's not very, like, you know, hugely feministic of viewers to compare two women against each other. What is this, guys? Do better. Now, what often happens to discredit the person that's come forward with information is somebody will come forward with information about them. This happens time and time again to try and discredit what they've said. Now, Maisie herself is being accused of cheating on her ex-boyfriend with Taze. Like, oh my... How deep does this run? Tomorrow I'm going to open my TikTok page and Maisie's ex-boyfriend, it's going to be found out that he was actually cheating with someone else. And it's just going to keep going. It's never going to end. Now, she has kind of combated this. She posted, like, another TikTok. Just to nip this in the bud, I definitely didn't cheat. Everyone's jumping on that, when even my ex himself said he was only speculating. I even, for weeks after the relationship ended, I pretended I was still in a relationship. I also didn't follow him back, and my ex knows this. Playboy's got nothing to do with it. I stopped that because I no longer wanted to do it. If I were for Taze, wouldn't I have restarted it by now? We were still in contact up to that night because he said things that were out of order. Nothing went on with me and Taze that night. I've always been loyal. I know anyone who's met me would say the exact same thing. Oh, what to believe? And then she's posted more messages with Taze, I believe, which I bet he's buzzing about. I loved the fact you kept mentioning you had a boyfriend. Absolutely loved it. That night, you passed the most important test. That's hilarious. Like, if someone says they've got a boyfriend, you're like, oh, you've passed the test. I'm gonna shag you now. Basically, she was saying that he was polite and respectful. And then she said, because most of the boys either don't speak to me or they are too flirty after the fact I've mentioned I've got a boyfriend. My boyfriend at the time didn't think so because someone followed me on Instagram and I got for it. I knew you wouldn't follow back too. I just thought, let me let her know I'm waiting. I mean, that's not going to really be nice for your ex-boyfriend to read. I'm not going to lie. What I can gather so far from what I'm reading, this Taze, you know, he's just a bit of like an F-boy, really. He seems like the kind of guy that might be chatting to like multiple women, etc. Now, obviously, this drama is very serious for the people involved and like everyone's feelings valid. But one thing I will say is that the reaction from like all viewer bases that are like fans of these people is so insane.
Heather Bowling is not a girl's girl. I'm sorry, but she acts like it, but her whole online presence...
Damn, that's cold. That is cold. That shut Maisie up. We haven't seen her since this drop. It's rumoured that she was going to post another TikTok, right? But since this drop, she went, I can't now. That's me down to the fact they put the dead emoji over her. Absolutely silence.
Bowling is not a girl's girl. I'm sorry, but she acts like it, but her whole online presence is a complete facade, and every single one of you supporting her is falling for it.
Bitch, shut up.
Do you know if like Hev Bolan wanted to be just like extra toxic, she should repost these. Does anyone else feel for her and Taze? Like, sure, it's probs not nice, your talking stage flogging you off, but bringing it to TikTok after they've made it official is pretty sad. Let them be. And to an extent, I actually agree with this. Like, why does everything need to be made public? However, when you decide to go out with another influencer, knowing fine well that this is their job, whether yous are official or not, you have to know that this could possibly happen, because some people will do anything. I'm not saying this is Maisie, but some people will do anything just to kind of get a few likes if they are an influencer. Again, I'm not saying that's Maisie, but you have to know that going into it, if you do actually f them over as well, like there's a chance that they could post a video about it. That's just how it works. I can understand why these two would feel, you know, kind of miffed that this is happening, especially when you're in your honeymoon period, you know, it's putting a little sour taste over your relationship, and it could even cause friction between the two of you, because, you know, if your past is getting brought up, it's just not nice at all. My genuine reaction, seeing people hating on Hev when she was completely valid and real. Speak your truth, sister. That's what I'm talking about. No, she preached being a girl's girl and then put herself above someone, all over a boy. And the girl wasn't even attacking her. It was Taze. It's weird. One thing I will say, right, no matter who you support, you don't know these people. Like, you might think that you know them, but you don't really know them. And you can see that from, like, people's private stories. Some people only show you what they want to show you. And I would just always be mindful of that.
What a lot of you might not know is she did a video when it was the Molly Mae and Tommy thing, bragging about everyone knows, like, everyone knows. And she deleted it, because people started giving her hate, saying, why wouldn't you say anything? And I made a video basically said, because I'd seen quite a few people posting about it saying, we all knew, we all saw it happen. And I posted a video saying, like, why didn't you say anything? If you knew, why didn't you say anything? Anyway, she deleted her video, then came onto my video and started commenting, like, as if she was being attacked. So I put a really nice comment back, because at this point, like, it wasn't actually targeted at her, but she obviously felt attacked in the situation, and it broke my heart. Like, I literally had to unfollow her after that, because, like, I thought she was an icon. Turns out she's just a mean girl.
Now, it's funny when, like, you know, somebody is going through, like, this isn't a cancellation, but going through a little bit of, like, you know, criticism. Like, other people will bring other stuff up to kind of paint a picture of someone. And obviously this girl is not really being mean at all, really, but she's saying, you know, there's other things that Heather's done that means she's not a girl's girl, like not telling Molly May that everyone knew that Tommy Fury was cheating on her, apparently. I just think she's probably just a young person. Like, when that was happening, how old was she? Like 19, 20? And again, I know that's not, like, an excuse, but these people aren't, you know, they're not, like, perfect. Obviously she should be criticized for that, like she's saying, but I don't think it makes her necessarily a mean girl. Like, she's still kind of probably learning. Like, her frontal lobe hasn't developed. She's not an old bastard like me. You're just trying to figure out your life, and I just kind of, I would feel bad myself if I was, like, tearing down a 20-year-old. I feel like she's just making mistakes, and unfortunately they're all kind of public. And it's unfortunate, like, she's getting so much hate because of a scenario where in reality she hasn't really, it started off she hadn't actually done anything. Oh, this is just intense. This is, I kind of feel bad for everyone involved. Everyone's getting their feelings hurt. There's no good coming out of this situation. Hopefully I, like, kind of summarised this and I wasn't too harsh on anyone, otherwise that will make me feel sad. Let me know if you want me to do updates on this, if there is any, but I feel like that's going to be the end of it, hopefully, and all of them can kind of just go back to their lives and kind of recover from this situation. If you would like to see me talk about some more UK TikTokers that are going through drama, click this video right here. I'll watch a brand new video from us right here, guys. Go on, do it.
Kirkham, baby.